Good afternoon and welcome to another Monday afternoon edition of Facebook Live. If you missed our On the Money show yesterday morning, our topic was prepare for more uncertainty in 2017, how to protect yourself no matter what happens. And what I did in the program yesterday, we basically started off by looking at some of the events that occurred in 2016. It was a pretty remarkable year. We had the worst 2-week stretch to start a year ever. If you remember back in January of last year, after 10 trading sessions, the S&P 500, the Dow Jones Industrial, and the Nasdaq were down 8.3, and 10.4%, total. So it was a really bad start to the new year. But then we had the biggest quarterly reversal in 83 years. By the end of the first quarter, even after they hit their lows in February, they were back in the black. West Texas Intermediate Oil had a 12-year low. I mean, we loved it at the pump. We had low gas prices. But oil and the oil industry the whole energy industry was on the downside because of low oil prices. Natural gas prices hit a 17-year low as well. Gold had its best quarter in 30 years. The first quarter of last year, by the end of the year, gold, the Trump rally kind of sunk gold a little bit. Japan sold a negative interest rate 10-year bond for the very first time last year. And Apple, Apple was the technology darling for years and years and years. Last year, Apple did something we hadn't seen in 13 years. It reported a year-over-year decline in revenue. So I don't want everybody crying for Apple. They still reported sales of $50.55 billion, a 13% decline from the year before. So things that happened in 2016 that were kind of unpredictable. What are the lessons from this? Attempting to outguess the market's response to the election's outcome was a leap off the high board into the empty pool of market timing. You can't time the market. Don't try to outguess the reaction. Stock market is unpredictable, as we saw many times in 2016. It went down 13 trading days in a row leading up to the election, but it was up in the first week after the election, 5.6 for the week, its best performance in 5 years. Number 3, the financial media is entertainment, not a source of financial insight. Most days there's barely an hour of real news, yet they got to keep you entertained for 24 hours, so turn off the TV. Number 4, ignore all forecasts. On election day, American voters cast their ballots, went home, and ate dinner, and the next day they had to recognize why they were all wrong the day before. So forecasts are not a very good projection of what could happen. Lesson 5, pessimistic forecasts tell us more about the forecaster than about the future. They're usually based on a rational analysis. Warnings appear reasonable, but pessimists just extrapolate present trends. They ignore innovation and how rapidly markets, companies, and people adapt to changes. So the ways to deal with fear and uncertainty in retirement: create a 5-year vision statement. Include your thoughts about your lifestyle, important occasions, your social life, intellectual pursuits, and so forth. Imagine a typical weekend retirement. What's that going to look like? When are you going to get out of bed? What are you going to do all day? Understand your current money situation, what you got coming in, what you got going out, what's your fixed cost, what's your discretionary expenses. Decide which insurance coverages you're going to require. Long-term care, Medicare supplements, or you're going to continue with life insurance. Create a spending plan that focuses on what you value most. Would you rather put your resources into extensive travel or have a bigger home? And finally, recognize that transitions are tough for most people. Again, you're changing your whole style of life, and it's going to be tough. So that's why it takes to do a little planning beforehand. So 2016 is in the books, a lot of major events. Again, you can't get too caught up in the hype and the financial forecast. And then again, if you're getting ready to retire, put together a plan and see what that would actually look like. It's another edition of Facebook Live.